Welcome back, everyone. I just want to say before I start looking at this question that if anyone's wondering what this whole area is, they may have seen it in some other videos, is that the place that I'm copying some of these questions from are, it says what year the exam this question is from, how many points it's worth, and so on. And I've actually taken them all out because I thought it was probably a good idea not to have people focusing on which exam it's on. It's just really about knowing the content, because you just become an expert in this area of solving all of these questions and you do it 1,000 times over. It doesn't really matter what question you're going to get in the exam, and also you shouldn't really just focus on because it was on the exam means it'll be on the next one. That's the wrong way to go about looking at things. It's really, you should be able to answer any question that comes to you, whether it be an exam question or not. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to put more weighting towards an exam question. It may never come up again. So let's get into this question, and yeah, let's try and solve it. So part I is calculate that whole thing at an effective rate of interest of 13% per annum. So when I see a series due payable 12thly, and here n is 5.5, normally we see n as whole numbers. So over here, my first thing is to turn it into an annuity, where I'll just say plus, 1 plus I, accumulating 5.5 years, or n periods into the future, and then multiply that by an annuity due to the 12, still 5.5. Okay, so that's fairly straightforward. Then I'll still keep that bit. Instead of 1 plus I, I'll just make it 1 plus 0.13 to the 5.5, because we can have numbers in this, times, and so that's just going to be 1 minus v to the n, and instead of dividing it by I as a regular annuity, we're going to divide it by d, and instead of just doing d, it's going to be d to the 12. And in fact, I can also do this and say, instead of n, we'll call it 5.5. So everything should look pretty good over here. And as well as that, how do we get d to the 12? Well, we know d is I over 1 plus I, or 1 minus v, whichever one. Now, d to the 12 is equal to 12 times, or that would be p, times 1 minus d, which is also v, to the power of 1 on 12, all enclosed in those brackets. So now we can just figure that one out on Excel, put it in there, figure out this, and we'll have our answer. And that v over there is 1 over 1.13. So let's go to Excel to figure that out. And let's start off with, let's start with v first and say it equals 1 divided by 1.13. d is equal to 1 minus v, and the other way around. Now d12 is equal to what we said before, 12 times 1 minus d, which is also v, to the power of 1 divided by 12, and that'll give us 0.12. So now we can find out our annuity due 12, which is 1 minus v to the power of 5.5, which is n, divided by d to the 12. And then we can find our series due to the 12, which is our annuity due to the 12 times 1 plus I, so 1.13, to the power of 5.5. So it's accumulating 5.5 periods, which gives us 7.88. Okay, so that's pretty cool, 7.88. $7.88, pounds, whatever, that's the answer. And now the question is, explain what your answer to I represents. So of course we'd ask that when it's got a 5.5 over there. So the reason it's asking that is because sometimes we'll see, if it were 5 periods, let's say, in 12 months, there's going to be then 60, sorry, if n were 5, then there'd be 60 payment periods. In this case, there's actually going to be 66 payment periods, because it's 5.5 years going on for 12 months. Now, if this was 5.6, I mean, how many months fit into 5.6 years? It may not necessarily be a whole number. and so this might be a bit nonsensical. So that's why they're really just trying to test, given that this was an exam question, just test if you even know what you're doing there, or if you just know how to plug it into a formula. So what you're going to say is, we can start off with, we can move here, we go S, we'll go 12, we'll go to the dots, and then we'll go to the N. And then we'll even go to the I, which isn't there, I. So S, it is the accumulated value of, the accumulated value, of, instead of it being $1 or £1, it'll be of, let's say in dollars, 1/12 of a dollar. Then we'll go to the dots, payable at the start of each period, or in advance, or whatever, for 5.5 times 12 periods, which equals 66 periods, payment periods, at an effective interest rate interest rate of 13% per annum. And that's really what you're saying. Have you covered everything here? We've got our S, we have our dots, we have our 12, we've got our 5.5 over there, and we've got our 13%. So that's what you're saying. If you've got any questions, then post it. If you want to know what exam this is from and how many points, and even for a lot of the other questions, you can ask that, and I may actually give the answer. So thanks for watching.